Hey everybody, Big Anklevich here, podcaster, author, and carnivore, and it is day 31 of the Beef, Butter, Bacon, and Eggs Challenge here on Big Anklevich on health. Okay, we'll jump right into the daily reports, and then right on the other side, we'll talk a little bit about what we had to say. Okay, it is Saturday, which is day 31 of the Beef, Butter, Bacon, and Egg Challenge. How about that? We've made it through an entire month. And today I finished up my fast. I made it to the full 44 hours, which is cool, just barely, but hey, that's kind of what I'm shooting for is 44, but usually closer to 40, and on my Monday fast it tends to be more like 36, so I think I did pretty well. And I broke that fast by having myself some bacon and some eggs. And you might wonder why I don't usually put pictures of bacon and eggs together like I used to. I have to cook them separately. I have to cook the bacon in the air fryer, and I have to wait until it's done before I can cook the eggs. For some reason, if I put the air fryer and the electric frying pan on the same plug circuit, it will short out the power. And I have to go out and flip the breaker. And so I make sure to use them at separate times. Usually they're not in the same place because we've got plugs all over the kitchen and they're separate. But while we're working on the kitchen, we got to use certain ones. And so, yeah, that's what's going on with that. Later in the day, I was going grocery shopping, and I was at Costco, and I remember hearing Marshall talking about getting some pork belly, that he wanted to try that because that is the other allowed bacon in the Beef, Butter, Bacon, and Eggs Challenge. Bacon or pork belly, you can have either of those. And pork belly is good. And so when he was saying, yeah, I should try that, I thought, you know what? I should too, and I saw it at Costco, so I went ahead and got myself a package of it. And for my second meal today, I fried some of that up. Sadly, since I don't have a kitchen, it was not easy to cook. I looked up various recipes on what the best way was to cook pork belly, and every one of them had something involved in it that I couldn't do. I don't have an oven, I don't have a stove, I have an electric frying pan, and I have an air fryer. And there were ones that did air fryer, and there were ones that did frying, but usually they included some other stuff. In the end, what I wound up doing was just dumping a bunch of salt onto it and frying it on the frying pan. And it came out pretty good. I don't know how great it can be. Truthfully, I've not had it that many places, so I don't really know how awesome pork belly can be. I did have the barbecued pork belly they used to sell at the swim meets that my son went to. They called them gator bites, and those were pretty good. But that was my extent of experience. And I'm not doing barbecue sauce, so I just did salt on my pork belly, and I had it, and I was able to eat half of the pork belly that you saw in that package, and it was pretty good. It was tasty. I enjoyed it. And I found that it left me really full. I couldn't eat more than half. I meant to eat that entire thing, but does that look weird? My head stacked with that fan behind it, just spinning. Anyways, yeah, let me do this. There, that's better. But anyways, that's what I had for food today. I meant to have a third meal because I'm getting ready to do a 72-hour fast this upcoming week. I was going to start it tomorrow, but I just found out from my wife we're going to somebody's house for dinner tomorrow night, which means that I couldn't eat until later, or I would need to eat later, which would make the 72-hour fast a problem. So I'm going to do it starting Monday, and we'll go Monday, I'll not eat Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Is that how that works? I'm not sure. Anyways, I think it does. But that'll be coming up later. So I'll tell you about it then. That's all I got for today.
Hey, it's day 31 of the Beef, Butter, Bacon, and Egg Challenge. And yesterday was day 31 for me, and I was able to pull off another OMAD. It wasn't that hard, not as hard as I thought it was going to be. It was Saturday, so I thought I might, you know, be home and want to snack on something in the fridge. But the thing is, I didn't have anything prepared. And so that was, you know, if I would have had bacon in the fridge, maybe that would have been, maybe if I would have had hard-boiled eggs or something like that, ready to go, ready to eat, maybe I would have been tempted. But I really wasn't that hungry yesterday during the day. There was an interesting, I don't know if it was a temptation, but I almost blew it at a total, well, let me just explain. So my oldest son is a COVID patient in our home now. It's not that serious. He just has COVID, so we've been making him stay in his room and providing him food to eat. And my wife had to leave, and so I was making him a lunch, and he wanted a hoagie sandwich with ham and cheese and everything else. And so I was making that for him, and I was cutting up the cheese, and I was giving the dogs some pieces. I was giving the dogs some ham, and just, but there was a little tiny piece of cheese, and without even thinking, I threw it in my mouth. And as soon as I did that, I'm like, oh crap, I can't eat that cheese. It's not part of beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. So I got it out of my mouth. But yeah, just, I wasn't even thinking. It wasn't even a thought. It wasn't like, oh, I want to eat this cheese, and I put it in my mouth. It was just second nature. I had a little tiny piece of cheese there. Oh, that's good enough for me to eat. So it's funny, those habits, those, you know, and typically I wouldn't be in that situation because I wouldn't be cutting up slices of cheese for myself. But since I was making a lunch for my son, it was just second nature for me. So luckily I didn't bite down on it. I didn't swallow anything. So I don't owe Big a action figure yet. So anyway, but that was kind of funny to me. I told my wife, I said, I almost ate cheese. Of all the terrible things to do in the world, I almost ate cheese. But yeah, it's not part of my challenge right now. It's not part of what I'm doing. So anyway, what did I eat? I wasn't sure what I was going to make for my dinner that night, but my wife had gone to the store and she found some deals on meat. So she got these big tri-tip roasts. I was like, wow, tri-tip and roast together. That's a pretty cool thing. So I cooked up one of those in the slow cooker with some butter and bacon grease. And that turned out really, really good. It was really tasty, really juicy. We'll see how it is tomorrow. You know, I ate about half of that first roast. And it was very tasty, very good. About an hour later, I thought, you know, I'm going to be fasting tomorrow. Well, that I might not end up fasting all day. Anyway, so I thought, oh, I should probably eat something else. So there was some bacon grease or something in one of the pans. It was all, you know, already congealed or whatever. And so I thought, oh, I'll just fire that up, and so I scrambled up 3 eggs real quick and ate that also. So that's what I had for yesterday. But I mean, it was within an hour, so I consider that still one meal. So I did OMAD yesterday, and it was tasty. It was good. And we'll see how it lasts me the next day.
All right, well, there you go. Some good stuff going on today. I thought it was pretty funny, Marshall's story about almost eating the cheese. I've had that same issue, but with worse things than cheese. You know, making a sandwich for my kid, and I get a little bit of like mayo or something on my thumb, and I go to lick that off because that's what I would normally do. You just look at it, who cares? But no, I don't want to do that. And similar stuff, you know, when I'm making things for other people, you know, normally I would just, you know, no big deal, just lick it off your finger or whatever. But not when you've restricted your thing. And, you know, I'm sure when it comes down to it, it wouldn't have mattered at all to Marshall if he'd eaten that tiny little piece of cheese. Wouldn't have ruined his diet, wouldn't have ruined his, you know, his anything. But he wouldn't have been true to his word. And that's important too. You know, if you tell yourself you're going to do something, then do it, right? You know, you really got to do your best and actually do it. Don't just be like, oh, well, my word doesn't matter. And then you quit, or you do something that doesn't matter, and you know, come on, let's do this, people. You know, it's something special to have that integrity. So good job, Marshall. Even though it wouldn't have mattered at all, that cheese that you ate wouldn't have hurt you in the least. I mean, cheese is carnivore after all, but we've limited things down to beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, and so it's different now. We gotta, I guess, hold things a little closer, work a little harder, be a little bit more careful. And yeah, I'd like to commend you, Marshall, for doing that. And you know, that's an important thing. You know, this is contrary, or not contrary, but not part of the stuff that I talk about here on this channel. But I started giving myself writing goals every day. And you know, some days I want to quit when I haven't made it to the goal yet. I'm not feeling it. I'm not enjoying it, and I want to quit. But, you know, I said I was going to do it. And you know, it's just a goal for me. It's just for my own benefit. So the only one that's really going to care is me, but I got to hold myself to it. You know, I got to keep my word. And I think that's an important thing. It's not what you'd expect to learn when you're when you're watching a video about a beef, butter, bacon, and eggs challenge and a diet, but that is what you got. So there you go. All right, we'll see you guys next time on Big Anglovich on health.